Thom Hartmann here on the Science and Green Report. You need to know this. A team of scientists at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center and Army Institute of Research in Washington, D.C., has found the first instance of a person living in the U.S. infected with an antibiotic-resistant microbe. An E. coli bacterium taken from a Pennsylvania woman diagnosed with a urinary tract infection contained the MCR-1 gene, which has resistance to colistin, the antibiotic of last resort. According to Thomas Frieden, director of the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, quote, "We risk living in a post-antibiotic world," end quote. It appears the overuse of antibiotics may lead to infections that no drugs can cure, according to the CDC. Each year, 23,000 Americans die from infections of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So far, the Federal Food and Drug Administration has taken a strictly voluntary approach to reducing overuse of antibiotics. Senator Dianne Feinstein has introduced a bill that would restrict the use of medically important antibiotics in livestock. Truth is that unless we take important measures now to change animal agriculture, we are all at risk. We could be living in a world where antibiotics no longer work. There are more incurable bacteria infections in people and a rising death toll. As a consumer, you can look for organic meat and poultry that are raised without antibiotics. There is a huge federal study linking cell phone radiation to brain cancer. According to a multi-year study from the Federal National Toxicology Program, the radiation emitted from wireless devices could cause brain cancer. These results seem to confirm human evidence used by the World Health Organization. WHO has already announced the cell phone radiation is a possible carcinogen. This new research discovered that male rats exposed to radiofrequency radiation had a larger chance of being diagnosed with a brain cancer called malignant glioma and also developing a tumor found in the heart. The radiation levels the rats were exposed to included power levels that current cell phones are allowed to emit. The study from the National Toxicology Program, part of the National Institutes of Health, was conducted on laboratory animals to help determine what the potential risks might be for people, noted Environmental Working Group President Ken Cook. Cook said, quote, "The federal government isn't exposing rats to cell phone radiation because we're concerned about rats getting cancer from cell phone use. These studies are done because of their relevance to people, and this particular study raises serious concerns," end quote. David Andrews, PhD, a senior scientist with EWG, added, quote, "By confirming the connection between cell phone radiation and malignant tumors in male rats, the NTP's study raises concerns for risks to people to a new level," end of quote. Research now reveals that dietary fiber intake is linked to successful aging. A new paper published in the Journals of Gerontology Series A, Biological Sciences and Medical Sciences by scientists from the Westmead Institute for Medical Research reports that eating the right amount of fiber from breads, cereals, vegetables, and fruits can help us avoid disease and disability into old age. They discovered that out of all the factors they examined, which included a person's complete carbohydrate intake, their total fiber intake, their glycemic index, their glycemic load, their sugar intake, it was the fiber that made the largest difference to what the researchers termed successful aging. Successful aging was defined as living with an absence of disability, depressive symptoms, cognitive impairment, respiratory symptoms, or chronic diseases, including cancer, coronary artery disease, and stroke. Here are your science quickies. It now appears that green tea may reduce joint pain and inflammation caused by arthritis. A study published in Arthritis and Rheumatology, a journal of the American College of Rheumatology, and was led by researchers from Washington University. It reveals the phytochemical called epigallocatechin 3 gallate found in green tea can fight the inflammation, joint pain, and tissue damage caused by rheumatoid arthritis. According to experts, the number of honeybees are declining and bug spray is the cause. The co-author of the study and a current professor at The Ohio State University, Elizabeth Long, reminded people to become extra mindful of the use of pesticides. She added that people need to think it through whether using bug spray is particularly necessary. Did you know that eating charred meat can increase your risk of cancer? Researchers from the University of Minnesota conducted a study watching the eating habits of over 62,000 people over a period of 9 years. They discovered that there was more than a 60% increase in pancreatic cancer cases among those people who ate charred meat on a regular basis. And in closing, does King Tutankhamun's dagger have extraterrestrial origins? The researching team said, quote, "The introduction of iron suggests that the ancient Egyptians were aware that these rare chunks of iron fell from the sky," end quote. Per the researchers, interestingly, the ancient term for iron can literally be translated into iron from the sky. The ancient Egyptians revered celestial objects that fell from the sky as gifts from the gods. And that's the way it is for the week of June 6th, 2016. I'm Thom Hartmann on Science and Green News.